It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors.
Hi everyone, as I see it, our roles on this show each week are, first of all, to bring you the stories of where the fish are biting and the hot spots where you can go and catch fish in the upcoming weekend. But we also have a responsibility to bring you some of the difficulties and challenges being faced at some of the lakes, rivers, and bays across our southwest region. From the major fish kills at Lake Fairfield and along the Brazos River chain in the last couple of years, to the drought conditions in South Texas and western Oklahoma, to the flooding conditions in northeastern Oklahoma, some of our lakes are facing difficult times. And it's to that end that we bring you to one of the most popular fishing lakes in the entire southwest region. I'd like to welcome you in to beautiful Lake Texoma, for many years considered to be the best striper fishing destination in the southwest region. Well, a couple of things have happened in the last 2 years that have made conditions out on that lake very difficult. And today we're going to be talking about some of those, and we'll catch up with one of my good friends and a daily guide on Lake Texoma, Mark Thompson. While we're doing that, we're taking you around the region for your very latest fishing reports from Oklahoma, Louisiana, Texas freshwater, and down along the Texas and Louisiana Gulf Coast regions. Also this week on the Lawrence Hot Lake of the Week, we'll be showing you one of the other hottest striper lakes in our region down at Lake Whitney in central Texas. We'll have your big fish photos that this week includes a big walleye on the big catch of the week. We'll have the Ask the Pro and much more. But next up, our Nitro Z8 gets launched into Lake Texoma. We'll check out the striper fishing. While I do that, here's your Chevy weekend plan.
A check of the Salooner tables for this weekend indicates peak times will take place in the middle of the night and around midday. The best daylight hours will begin at 1:05 on Saturday and 2 o'clock on Sunday. The sun will come up at 6:19 and set at 8:38 in the evening. And we just had a full moon on Wednesday, so evenings will continue to be bright with the moon 91% illuminated. Also, those of you on the Texas coast have a Chevy Kid Fish event taking place this weekend. Bring the kids out for lots of fun at the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department Fish Hatchery in Corpus Christi and get great prizes like tackle boxes and t-shirts. Plus, kids can catch fish like Mia from Flower Mound, who caught this 25.5-inch catfish. She qualifies for the Chevy Kid Fish Classic, and your kids can too. Visit the website for more details. Have a great weekend, everybody. Fishing updates from around the Southwest are next.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors. Buy quality award-winning Tracker boats. Fish the finest. Lawrence, maker of the HDS, high-definition system. And Academy, right stuff, low price, every day.
Welcome back, everybody. Your Southwest Outdoors Report today on Lake Texoma. And let me start off by telling you, first of all, that it's early in the morning. Things are very calm. And I'll tell you that over the last year and a half, Lake Texoma has experienced some of the most difficult striper fishing conditions in its history. It all began winter before last, when the water temperatures for an extended period of time here at the lake dropped down near freezing. That rarely ever happens anywhere in our region, much less on this lake. It killed most of the entire shad population in the lake. Then it was followed up by some of the coldest weather around Super Bowl time this past winter, which killed some of the striper population. Those two things combined have created some very challenging conditions for many of the fishing guides and anglers here at the lake. Now, one of the things that never changes on Lake Texoma is the famous Texoma Boat Show. As you can see right here behind me early in the morning, most of the guides, most of the fishermen are out here grouped up in one area, and evidently there have been a lot of stripers being caught in one big school. That's not indicative of the general striper fishing on the lake over the last year. It has been very tough. We'll talk more about that, and I'll do some fishing coming up shortly. But first of all, let's check in with your Louisiana fishing and lake reports this week. Here's Cajun Phil and Kevin.
Wow. Is it hot where you're at? I tell you what, we've been having 100-degree days each and every day. What does that do? Well, I tell you what, it drops the water level, so it's very low here on the western part of the state. The water is low, the vegetation is high. Remember, where there's grass, there's bass. One of the things that we do is we like to throw a Dean Rojas frog. What we do, or any type of frog like this, what you do with a Dean Rojas frog is you throw it out above either the lily pads or the big vegetation, and you work it pretty fast. When you get a blow up, most people have a tendency just to jerk. Don't do that. Whenever the bass blow up on a Dean Rojas frog, what you do is you let them have it for a little bit, let them get it on down there. Then when you come back, of course, have good heavy line like Finn's braid line. That way you can pull them through the grass to the vegetation. Next thing that Kevin and I like is a spoon. Either a Johnson Gold spoon or a Hopkins spoon like this. We always put a pork rind behind it. We always throw, like one of us to throw a green pork rind, one of us to throw a yellow, see what they're hitting a little bit better. Same thing as the frog, you pull it across real fast. The last thing that we throw is an unweighted plastic worm. Now, Bass Assassins come out with one called a dye dapper that's been really, really working good on a weedless hook. Also, they got the toad, which works really good. Let's talk about fresh saltwater right now. As far as Venice, Louisiana goes, offshore is off the chart. They catch a blue marlin, white marlin, they catch an amberjack, they catch a snapper. Right now, the Gulf of Mexico is really hot. I would suggest if you're going fishing and you want something really big, maybe you try going over there. You might even get one of the big old tunas they catch in Venice right now, on fire, offshore.
What do you think the pattern's going to be going right through the hot summertime months? How are you going to be catching most of your fish?
I think, well, it's kind of surprising me right now is because this is just the first part of June, and normally over here by the dam in this deeper water, you don't come over here to like July or August and see our water temperature still like surface is about 74, so the water temperature isn't that hot. The pattern's really changed right now that they've moved over here, or what fish that we're catching right now, the better ones are over here already at the dam, when it's usually July and August before you have to go. You know, where I have to drive this far to come over here.
Talk about the depth that the fish are coming out of now, 60 to 80 feet. Is that normal for this time of year?
No, normally, you know, we're back on ledges, maybe fishing in right off the river channels, and maybe, you know, anchoring on when it's coming up, fishing maybe 40 foot of water, you know, fishing maybe 20 to 30 foot deep. And right now, like today over here, you know, we've limited out, and heck, we were catching them anywhere. We're fishing 80 foot of water, catching them anywhere from, you know, 45 foot to 60 foot deep.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Abu Garcia for life. By Navionics, enjoy Navionics anytime, anywhere. By Whataburger, just like you like it. And by Motor Guide Trolling Motors.
Oh, there's one. Hey, we got one. Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is your Southwest Outdoors Report today. Reporting to you from Lake Texoma. And as you've seen, there's a lot of boats around and quite a few people actually catching fish. And here is one small striper. And I'll tell you, the fishing here, as we mentioned earlier, has been pretty difficult. All spring and all summer long, everybody here has had a hard time catching fish, and the ones that have been caught, fairly small. That's not a big fish right there, just a little small striper, but he's pretty healthy. He's got a pretty fat little belly on him. So the shad population has come back in the lake tremendously. We're gonna let that one go back. And I'll tell you that for almost a year, shad were almost impossible to catch on this lake. Now, all of a sudden, the population has come back to the point where the guides are not having any trouble catching these shad early in the mornings for their clients out here. That's a good sign. With that happening, the fishery is going to come back. It may take a little while, but it's gonna come back. The fishing is halfway decent. It's nothing like it used to be here, but shad population doing this, it's on the way up. Let's check in right now with Brian Hughes, your Lone Star Lakes, Texas Fishing and Lake Report.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by the Ultimate Summer Boat and Outdoor Show. Be sure and check their website for your discount coupons to the show. Now, viewer John was asking us about crappie in Texas, so let's start there. Ray Roberts, Richland Chambers, or Toledo Bend, all great crappie lakes in Texas, and you'll find the fish on the brush piles. Now, some of these brush piles are dropped in place by everyday anglers like you and me. They go out to either long sloping points in front of boat docks, humps, or the mouths of creeks and drop off brush piles they can come back and fish later. These will be the hardest to find, but if you check your electronics, when you do find them, they'll usually pay off. Now, some lakes like Ray Roberts have Corps of Engineers installed brush piles that were put in place when the lake was impounded. These you'll find on the maps of the lake that you can buy in the local area retail stores. Now, once you find these brush piles, you can either drop minnows over the top or drop crappie jigs right down in the middle to get your big slabs this summer. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by the ultimate summer boat and outdoor show. Let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island. Surrounded by pristine bays, estuaries, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico, Port A is truly the fishing capital of Texas. Come fish, golf, and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit the website on the screen. Well, the shortest red snapper season in history has greeted anglers with some impressive catches. In fact, the offshore season has really gotten off to a good start when the winds have been light. Heavier weights of red snapper have been brought to docks in Freeport as well as Port Aransas. Weed lines offshore are holding numbers of chicken dolphin with a few bull dolphins mixed in. And there's also kingfish as well as ling just off the beachfront. Now, the red snapper season will run through July 19th. Inshore, lighter winds are benefiting anglers and letting waters clear. Redfish can still be found in back lakes as well as on Estes Flats and other shallow flats along the Texas coast. The increasing heat and lighter winds have allowed anglers in Trinity, Galveston, and Corpus Christi bays to fish the shell pads of those bays' wells. Live shrimp as well as croaker and finger mullet are catching fish. Reports from Port Mansfield indicate continued increases in numbers of quality fish. The reduced bag limit that was imposed a few years back has allowed fish to increase in size, and those bigger fish are hitting topwater lures early and soft plastics through the rest of the day. Anglers in Galveston, Sabine, and Trinity are also chasing birds and finding good trout and redfish underneath. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a single tide schedule of one high and one low tide each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
The good thing about it is, I mean, these are good box fish, which you can see how fat it is right now. You know, 17, 18-inch fish, 19-inch fish, because you can still have 10 fish, and out of that 10, you can only have 2 over 20 inches. Now, you're not catching any, or I'm not, any 12 or something pounders, but you don't have a problem. I can find them. You know, there's one probably 22, maybe 21, 22. You're going to catch your overs of 20 inches, but they may run from 21 to 24 inches. But they're all healthy. They're real healthy fish. They're fat, and I mean, it's just, I mean, they're great shows.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Academy. Right stuff, low price, every day. Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. Costa Del Mar Sunglasses. See what's out there. And by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors.
Hey, welcome back everybody. We're still on Lake Texoma, and we've actually spent a few hours here now. It's gotten late in the morning. I want to give you a few observations. I have not done a lot of fishing today. I've actually been handicapped. I didn't have live bait. I've been using spoons, swim baits, caught a few small stripers, but haven't done nearly as well as most of the boats that have live bait. That's your key. Catch shad, throw a cast net, get here early, and have some live bait in the well. You'll do much better. Most of the guides that we observed were having limits for their clients, and most of the regular anglers using live bait were regularly catching stripers. Now, I did drive around, do a lot of graphing, and I want to show you a couple of shots on the Lowrance HDS-10. There were some good schools of stripers right underneath the boat, so there are enough fish here that you can mark fish on your sonar or on your structure scan like you see on the right-hand side of your screen. So, Most of the fish that are being caught here are what's called box fish, which are the barely keeper-sized fish, good filleting, good eating-sized fish, but no real big ones that we saw today. It's still pretty difficult for the larger size fish here on Lake Texoma. Let's check in right now with Gary Dollahan, your Oklahoma Fishing and Lake Report.
Everybody likes to see a bobber go under, and there were lots of bobbers going under recently at Bass Pro Shops in Broken Arrow. They were hosting a Dad's Chapter activity for the Down Syndrome Association of Tulsa, a family fishing event. Lots of kids got to catch their first fish. Lots of kids got to take their first boat ride. What they were doing to catch those sunfish is what is happening all across our state right now. Lots of sunfish are bedding. That will happen for the next month and a half or so. What you want to do is a live wire hook, either a live worm or a live cricket under a tiny bobber, or you can use that fly rod. Lots of fun. Bass fishing across the state is really good right now. The magical depth across the state seems to be 6 to 10 foot of water. The best baits are plastic worms and crankbaits. Ivan Martin on Grand Lake says he's catching lots of fish again, dragging his soft flicker 6 to 10 foot of water through the rocks. Also this time of year, don't overlook striper fishing. The Department of Wildlife shocked up a giant below Lake Eufaula. It would be a new state record if an angler is lucky enough to catch it. They estimated the weight 51.5 pounds and measured over 41 inches. Lots of good striper and hybrid fishing in our state. Overholser, Sooner, Texoma, just to name a few. The thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
One of the hottest striper lakes in our region right now is not here at Texoma, actually. It's way south of here, down in central Texas at Lake Whitney. First of all, let me show you a couple of photos. Mike Acosta is a good friend of mine. He guides on several different lakes, but he's been real hot on Whitney lately, and you're looking at a couple of photos from there. So let's go to the Lowrance HDS-10 on my Nitro Z8 bass boat, and let's locate Hillsboro, Texas on the right side of your screen, right on I-35, then the town of Whitney between Hillsboro and the lake. We highlight the mid-lake area about where the red arrow is pointing now. Next, we zoom into that area and switch over to the Navionics Hot Maps Platinum chart, and we locate the Katy Bridge, the only bridge that crosses Lake Whitney at the top of the screen here. Next, the red shaded line right here is the ledge that runs the entire length of the Brazos River channel. Left of that line is very deep river water, and right of that line are large, shallow flats. Most days, the stripers will either be near that drop-off ledge or roaming those flats in about 20 feet of water. Now you can either use your sonar to find the bait and the stripers, or watch for the white diving gulls hitting the water or sitting on the water. That's how you locate where the stripers are on any given day at Lake Whitney. That's the Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Stren, the standard of dependability, by Jean LaRue Lures and Bobby Garland Baits, quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride. Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors, and Mercury Marine.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time now for our Ask the Pro feature. Our question this week is from Roderick in Lake Charles, Louisiana, who wants to know, what is the proper way to re-spool your fishing reels without getting memory in the line? For the answer, let's ask Shaw Grigsby, a two-time FLW championship winner.
I re-spool every reel the same way. I've heard it like spinning reels, you're supposed to lay the spool down and label up and this and that, but you have to end up flipping it and it twists and all that. Bait casters, you put the spool on a dowel or on a pencil or something and let it revolve, and when you do it, well, I do them all that way. And the easiest way for me is most of the times you buy a line, it comes in a little cardboard box. I just pull the tab out, open it up, pull the spool out, take the line, start it off the spool, and put it back in the box and close the lid. Tie it onto my line, the line onto my other line, or straight onto the reel, and just reel it on. Spinning rod, bait caster, it works great. Just let it spin inside the box. You don't need anybody else around. You can do it by yourself, and it works very, very easily.
Thanks, Shaw. If you have a question for one of the pros, just visit our website at southwestouttdoorsreport.com. Click on the Ask the Pro link and send us your information. Now here's Barry with our Whataburger Big Catch of the Week.
Hey, this week's Big Catch of the Week winner is Doug McClure of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And he is pictured here with an unusual fish for our region. This is a big 6-pound, 9-ounce walleye caught right in Oklahoma City out of Lake Hefner. He caught it on 4-pound test line. If you'd like to enter our contest, go to the website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Everything you'll need is at top right-hand corner of the front page. You'll need to be a member of our fan club. Sign up. It's free, and you'll have access to my blog, the Ask the Pro question, the Big Catch of the Week, my favorites page, and much more. Also want to remind you that next week's show will be on in our usual time slot, 10:30 p.m. on Thursday night. We do not have any conflicts next week, so we'll be on at 10:30. And the show repeats Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. Set your DVR for Saturday morning's airing because those airings never deviate. Also, you can watch our latest episode 24/7 at our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com, and you can watch all of our past episodes at our YouTube channel. You can link to that from the front page of our website. And finally, you can get lots of information, lots of content that we post throughout the week that you'll never see on our television show at our Facebook page, facebook.com. Search for Southwest Outdoors Report with Barry Stokes and click on the like link, and everything will be sent to your news feed. Well, I said at the beginning of our show that we report the challenging, difficult fishing in our region, just like we do all the hot and good fishing. Lake Texoma is on the comeback trail, but as we said, the fishing can still be very challenging here. Hope you enjoyed the show today. From Lake Texoma on the Texas-Oklahoma border, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.